Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in with Thom. My name is Thom Jennings, the music writer for the Niagara Gazette and the Lockport Union Sun-Journal. My column appears weekly in the Night and Day magazine and online. And if you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, please do. And please share so we can continue to grow it. So, big news this week. We've got some concert announcements that came for Art Park. This summer's Tuesday shows kind of trickle out. In the old days, they used to put them all out in one big press release, but now we get them about one at a time. So the one that was announced this week, last summer on Earth Tour, at the top of the bill, of course, is the Barenaked Ladies. So the last two times the Barenaked Ladies have been at Art Park, it was 2 years ago, and then 2 years before that. Show sold out quickly. So if you plan on attending this show, you're going to want to get your tickets. They go on sale this Friday. This year's tour, as always, features two additional acts. This is a great bill. It's all 90s groups. We've got the Gin Blossoms. One of their big hits was Found Out About You and, of course, Hey Jealousy. And those come from the album New Miserable Experience. It's a bit of a mouthful. Anyhow, if you read my column this week, you'll see the story behind the recording session there. There was a guitarist and one of the songwriters, one of the founding members, a gentleman by the name of Doug Hopkins. Now, Doug's kind of a tragic figure. He was dealing with major depression and alcoholism related to his depression. And the record company wound up kicking him out of the studio while they were recording the album. The band goes on, they record the album. About a year later, it becomes a massive hit. Hopkins had been kind of pressured into signing away his mechanical royalties and publishing royalties. And I won't get into the difference of both, but you know, the short version of it's mechanical has to do with your performance, and publishing obviously has to do with the songwriting. Anyhow, he signed away a good portion of those, so I think when the band became really popular, it kind of just drove him over the edge. He had gone into rehab, and eventually he killed himself. So it's a very tragic story. The band's next album, Congratulations, I'm Sorry, was sort of a response to that, because people would say, hey, congratulations on the fame, but we're real sorry what happened to Doug, who of course was a friend of the band. And the band never quite got over that situation. They did split up in 97. They reformed in the early 2000s. They still record. They still tour. They're still a great band. I'm really looking forward to seeing them. That incident, of course, happened a long time ago. But, you know, we're lucky to have the Gin Blossoms around, still performing some great songs. My favorite by them is a song called Allison Road. And I'm hoping to see that live because I haven't seen the Gin Blossoms perform in concert yet. The other band on the bill is Toad the Wet Sprocket. Toad the Wet Sprocket, actually with the recent passing of Terry Jones from Monty Python, Toad the Wet Sprocket got their name from a Monty Python sketch about fictitious rock bands and fictitious rock band news. And it's funny, Eric Idle, there's a great quote from him where he heard the band on the radio the first time and pulled his car over and started laughing because he literally came up with the name just on a whim, and he thought it was something that no band would ever use. And actually, over the course of, since the sketch aired on Monty Python, two bands have used the name. One was in the United Kingdom. They never really became very popular. And, of course, the one that will be at Art Park, which had a big hit with All I Want. Another band I'm really looking forward to see. And also, speaking of Canadian bands, we know Barenaked Ladies is from Canada. They have a huge Canadian 90s bill coming. It's not a Tuesday show, but it's a Thursday show. You got Big Wreck, the Headstones, Moist, and the Tea Party. I've never seen Headstones or Moist, not real familiar with either one of their musics. Tea Party used to come to Lockport all the time. I love those guys. Jeff Martin is actually the only one of the three founding members that I never interviewed. And I remember doing a meet and greet with him once where I said to him, I said, hey, Jeff, you owe me an interview. And he whispered in my ear right before that we were taking a picture in this really deep voice. He's like, you wouldn't want to interview me. I'm a lousy interview. But anyhow, who knows? Maybe we'll get a chance to interview Jeff Martin for this upcoming show. Big Wreck, just a great live band. So if you love 90s Canadian music and you're lucky enough to have grown up with it because we're so close to the border, this is going to be a show you definitely want to check out. It's the only U.S. state. All the other dates are in Canada. So again, an advantage of living so close to the border. Well, we'll wrap it up with the July 14th show. Another band coming for the Tuesday series. The only other show that's been announced for the Tuesday season this year. One of my favorites, Tedeschi Trucks, or Tedeschi Trucks. I don't know. It's you say tomato, I say tomato. Anyhow, Susan Tedeschi and Derek Trucks were solo artists. They're a husband and wife team. They're incredible. Susan has just that beautiful, soulful voice. Kind of reminds me of Bonnie Raitt. The band itself has that sort of big Allman Brothers jam band sound. If you haven't seen them live, you're missing something. These are absolutely one of the greatest bands, greatest live bands ever. And I'll tell you, some of the greatest shows ever in the history of the Art Park Tuesday series were when these two came together. They always have this gigantic jam at the end that's, some classic soul hit, and I don't know, it's just a lot of fun. So as I like to try to show off a little bit of vinyl, because I'm a vinyl record collector, this is the live one, Everybody's Talking. This is my brother-in-law Jack, so I appreciate him letting me borrow it for this particular Tuning In with Thom episode. But the important thing is you want to definitely check out this band live. It's going to be one of the great shows. And we'll keep you up to date on all the other Art Park shows coming up and anything in the Niagara region. Again, we've got some bonus footage out there if you get a chance to check it out. If you know somebody who'd like to be a guest, please contact us. But as always, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in with Thom.